MA Education, MES 101, that is higher education, its context and linkages, and the first assignment, that is the aim of education are not fixed, they keep changing. Discuss the factors responsible for the changes in the aims of higher education. For this, the probable answers could be in this way. The education system in India has seen rapid changes in the last decade, although it's never been static. It kept on changing with time, but current scenario easily reflects the visible change, which clearly proves that the aims of education are not fixed and they keep changing. The emergence of blended learning, online classes, experiential learning has changed how students are interacting with the educational content. There has been a dramatic shift in the education system as a whole, and now online education and blended classes have become a norm in all the levels of education. These changes have had such impact in the education system in India that new education policy 2020 has made specific policy inputs to make online education a part of all education effort in the country. Some of the major changes in our era which are clearly invisible in education system are as follows. Like chalkboards replaced by smart screen. These are technology-driven smart boards wherein all the lectures, formulae and concept is holistically described and available to download anytime. The intelligent class has contributed a significant chunk in attracting students, followed by decrease in dropout rates. Second is online classes. Started with the adoption of technology by private sector, the importance of online education took dramatic turn during the COVID-19 lockdown, and now it has become the main part of education. Third is free availability of content, like various YouTube channels and internet facility through Google has highly enriched the system. Fourth is short-term skill-based online courses. This is again a significant change where top educational institutes are using online medium. Also, the market is recognizing these skills and helping students. Next is experiential and project-based learning. It has now become an important and mandatory part of curriculum. Next is use of machine learning and artificial learning. Adoption of artificial learning and machine learning has led to personalization of test preparation with specific inputs to improve the learning outcome. As every educational system has factors or features that influence, determine and shape the system, the character of educational system is not determined by a single factor, rather, it depends on a combination of several factors. Learning is not always as simple as going to school. There are many factors that affect education and are responsible for the change within the educational system. Major ones are economy, career or job, diversity, cultural differences, teachers, students' zeal and education, family. Second assignment. What are the important imperatives of quality in higher education? Discuss how quality can be brought about in teaching learning process. The answer to this question could be in this way. It is now clearly realized that the economic success of the states is directly determined by the quality of their educational systems, and that the most effective factor of production is human capital expressed in knowledge, skills, creative abilities, and moral qualities of individuals in society. In the past decades, higher education institutions have been buffeted by a complex set of pressures all over across the globe. Foremost among them is the growing importance of knowledge-led economies that have placed higher education at the center of national competitiveness agendas. Higher education institutions are increasingly viewed as economic engines by policymakers and are seen as essential for ensuring knowledge production through research and innovation and the continuous education of the workforce. Quality improvement and sustenance have become the key areas emphasis of the modern times. Higher education suffers from the paradoxes of ill efficiency, mismanagement, and lower productivity on account of lack of adherence to quality standards. In order to build a competitive nation in this era of globalization, a sincere effort in the direction of sustaining quality is required. Quality implies differences in value in comparison to the common. Something having quality is perceived to be less accessible than an alternative of the same entity that lacks quality. Thus, quality means having numerous versions of the same thing organized in a hierarchical pattern indicating the presence of relative values. Higher education aims to conserve, spread, and upgrade knowledge. Therefore, in order to sustain in the fiercely competitive world, enhancement of quality and standard of Indian higher education institutions becomes indispensable. The long-term objective of the National Policy on Education formulated in 1968 was quality enhancement and increase in the numbers of students coming out of the school and colleges. To accentuate this need of quality standards in higher education, the Government of India in August 1985, with the Ministry of Education's document, that is Challenge of Education, a Policy Perspective, launched a campaign for quality in education. NPE was framed to effectively meet the challenges occurring due to ongoing revolution in science and technology. For maintaining the quality in educational institutes and enriching the teaching-learning process, following methods could be adopted. First, meet the students' requirements on time. Second, strive to do error-free work. Third, manage by prevention, not by correction. Fourth, measure the cost of quality. Fifth, committing to a quality-focused system. Sixth, identifying student satisfaction as the key indicator for quality services. And seventh, showing reception for novel strategies for upbringing a gradual and enduring advancement of learning outcome.
Alright.
IMAS 101. The third assignment is, how is the phenomena of globalization impacting Indian higher education? Discuss with examples. So just an idea here is, as a result of globalization, higher education is becoming a marketable commodity and has emerged as a multi-billion-dollar business. The increasing need to set up a chain of educational institutions which are accredited, globally acceptable, has led to gradual privatization of higher education. The higher education structure in India has served as both an agent and object of the globalization, and the impact of globalization on it are immense and diverse. It has not only underlined the need for higher education reforms but also wider utilization of IT, emphasis on research and development and investment in development of human capital. The The global competitiveness, rapid changes, lifelong learning, and flexible routes of learning have their implications over teachers' training also. Globalization has underlined the need to take steps to qualitative expansion, value-based competency, and ICT-based teaching learning. People with disability get benefit from globalization only if they are endowed with knowledge, skills, capabilities, and rights needed to pursue their basic livelihoods. The introduction of technology into the classroom is changing the nature of delivering education to students. It is gradually giving way to a new form of electronic literacy. More programs and education materials are made available in electronic form. Teachers are preparing materials in electronic form. Students are generating papers, assignments, and projects in electronic form. Video projection screens, books with storage device servers, and CD-ROMs, as well as the emergence of online digital libraries are now in use. Exams and grades are also gradually becoming available through electronic means, and notebooks are giving way to laptops. Also, students can be examined through computer-managed learning system and do tutorial exercises on a computer rather than a classroom. So, higher education has become a huge enterprise, and worldwide tens of millions of students are getting enrolled in more than 15,000 public institutions and a growing number of private institutions. So the global IT paradigm, the survival of the fittest paradigm, plays an important role in the ideas on how higher education will be delivered in the coming decades, and specifically in the key role expected for IT and distance education.